What's up guys, it's Phil, and it's time for another update. Okay, so I managed to actually get some stuff back in the trailer, but in my own haste I realized that the whole reason for me building this trailer is because I want to be more organized, and that's going to help me actually do better at my job. So I didn't want to just throw everything back in there and call it done. So I did decide to go ahead and start building some shelves. I didn't record myself doing that because these are just modular shelves that are probably temporary, because I am going to be basing a lot of this on the Ron Polk design, but I want to see exactly how much of this room I'm going to use, because this trailer is huge. So I may actually completely blow up my original plan and just do what works for me with room to expand. So let me show you what I've done so far. So I am currently working on putting my trim boards up. I always store my plywood on the side. So then I've also got my trim storage up here. These are just pieces of plywood that I custom cut and made a bracing for. They are attached to the wall and to the metal up top. I did this in my last trailer and it worked out really well, so I made a slightly slimmed down version that I think is going to work better and hold more weight, but we will see. Over here is the shelving that I actually did last night that I forgot to show you. Again, it's nothing really special. It's kind of based on what I already had in my other trailer, but just much more well organized and much more compact. So I basically fit everything that was in the nose here last time into here. And I still haven't even finished out this cabinet. I've got 5 drawers that are going to go in this cabinet for small storage, and then I'm going to be doing the Ron Polk style cabinet on this side. So my plan for the day is that I'm going to finish getting like the basics put up and getting all the stuff back in here that I know I'm going to need and I know I'm going to use. I may still build a couple small temporary shelves like you see my screws, because those can be removed later very easily, but for now they're just something that I can store stuff in so I can continue working, because I've got 2 jobs starting next week that I am not ready for and I don't have time to do this. So I'm going to get the trim put up here, get everything off the floor, take a couple more measurements, and then I'm going to take this thing on a test drive and see if anything moves or shifts and see how my passive restraints actually work. Bless you. I've officially done some test runs and it is working out really well. Currently sound like Batman because I'm sick, so sorry, but if any casting directors are looking for yet another Batman with a terrible voice, I'm your guy. So here's where we are at currently. I've got a lot of storage done similar to what I had in my other trailer, but like I said earlier, I got everything in here, and the passive restraint of the Ron Polk system is the best part. So literally none of this stuff has come out or moved. I think this fell out the other day, but nothing moves, which is awesome. This whole tray can lift and come out, and it's got all of my tools and stuff for my drills, and they're actually coordinated to whatever's directly underneath them, so that I know I've got driver bits here, this is a driver, I've got drill bits here, this is a drill, I've got drill bits here, this is a drill, drivers, and so on. I've got my nails for my nail gun, and then I've just got extra stuff here because I've got a saw in there, which is great. All my jigs are up here, which is awesome. And then my sander, which I really don't use that often, but I've started using more often on job sites, so it is up here. It also works in conjunction with the vacuum cleaner. The vacuum is the new Rigid XL. It's on really big wheels with this awesome handle that I can literally just lift up and take out, and it stops rolling all over my trailer like it used to, getting damaged. So I'm super happy about that. These are super cool because just like on Ron's system, I did them a little bit differently, but I actually did it where instead of having a routed channel for them to fit into and then adding a little piece of wood to restrain them. I didn't think that far ahead. I didn't know I was going to do that for this when I built the cabinet. So to save time and money, I just added 3/4 inch ply pieces, and then the little bit of cutoff from each of these drawers I just tacked in place right here. Now that is super cool because these will not pull out on their own. In fact, they can barely move forward or backward until you lift them up about 3/8 of an inch, and then they come right out. None of these drawers have moved in all the driving that I've done in the past couple of days, which has been phenomenal. I've also got, right now this level's propping the door open, but both the levels stay where they're supposed to, and I cut a little channel out of a piece of oak, the exact size for this, put a screw in the right place, and you can literally just drop this in, and it stays in place, which is amazing. Now for the final bit of passive restraint, I've got these shelves which hold, this has my hot glue stuff, obviously my screws, which I almost exclusively use number 6 2-inch drywall screws, so I've always got one of these big giant guys and then some other various sizes stored over here. And then paint, which I always have to have extra, and I usually only carry for the current clients that I have because I don't want to store paint in here. And I also usually leave the paint with the clients when I'm done to do touch-ups. Got my spackle up here. Unfortunately, my finishing wax didn't fit. That was a bit of an oversight, but it is what it is. But I mean, I can put stuff up in here that will stay and will not slide out, which is pretty awesome. And then the best thing about the passive restraint system is that I don't have to worry about, like I used to have a bungee cord holding this in place. I now no longer have to do that because right now it can slide all over the place. It's not going to go anywhere, and if it tips, it hits. So there's literally no way to get this thing out without holding the handle and lifting up over the front lip, and then you can get it out. Same goes for the paint cans, which has been a lifesaver because I have twice now had paint fall and explode all over the bottom of my carriers. One was a big bread truck I had, and the other was my previous trailer, and it's a pain in the butt. So what's good with these is, again, they can move all over. I typically do carry 3 cans so they don't bounce around, but I will say, having just these 2, they didn't move. And it's a real rainy day. I went on some real windy roads and crazy hills, and they did not move. So that's kind of cool because the weight of the cans just holds them down. But again, they have nowhere to go if they were to try to fall out. You have to literally lift the can up to get it out. Another one of the things I do with all of my cans is when I get them brand new, I grab the top like this, put my thumbs into it, and bend my wrists away from my thumbs, and that causes this little bend, which extends this out farther than normal and also gives you a dead center spot to hold the can to, so you're not picking it up sideways and all that jazz. It's got a spot to go. So if you ever need to hang it on something, put it on a hook or whatever, you've got that handle there. Plus, I can turn that handle up, and when I stick it in here, it's a lot easier to put one finger in there, put my thumb on the can, and lift, and pull it out. So that's pretty much it for the passive restraint. This is just step 1. All I wanted to do was get my stuff back in the trailer, and then I'm going to continue working from there. I've got a whole bunch more plans for stuff to go over here and right back there, but for now I've got a nice empty trailer to work out of, which is pretty nice. One difference between my trailer and Ron's system is that I do need material storage, which he never does. I cannot get enough materials in my truck, and I always need different materials for different jobs, but I'm a one-man show, so I don't have the ability to go and get stuff or have it dropped at the job site and all that crap, so I always carry it with me. I very simply built these plywood supports. They can hold a lot of weight, I'm not sure how much, but I typically try not to overload it because I don't want a whole lot of weight pulling down on the roof of the trailer. But they are screwed into the sidewall, and then they can support at least trim or some lumber. If I get real heavy stuff, I always put it on the floor between the axles anyway. Underneath that is my plywood storage, and I do not have passive restraint on this because I have had 11 sheets of plywood fall on me before, and believe me, you don't want that to happen, at least not more than once. So this has a nice husky strap on it. I've got 3/4 inch plywood screwed into the wall and a restraining system screwed into that. So that is the one thing that I actually have strapped down. And then these guys are on carabiners. This is my tent. I use it for art shows and also on rainy days like today. Luckily I don't have a lot of work to do, so I'm not going to actually set it up. I'm just going to work out of the trailer. And then the canopy being in the way here actually prevents the boards from sliding. That's a previous problem I used to have in my other trailer, is anything less than 11 foot long would constantly slide back and forth, and I had it on that side, so I had to duck every time I went in the door. Now I've got a bigger, taller door, I've got a taller trailer, and I've got this stuff on this side and towards the back. So most of the weight is above the axles, which is good, but it also prevents it from sliding forward because this guy is there. For now, this is going to work. I'm going to put another cabinet, but I'm actually going to do Ron's design down here for these drawers, and then I'm going to do a charging station slash workstation. It's not really big enough to do a lot of work, but I can like set stuff down over there if I need to, and that's what's going to be in the front, and some sort of front cabinet. I still really need to figure out what my needs are going to be. I'm not 100% sure about that, but once I get it all figured out, that's gonna work. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this idea and you want to see the rest of this series, make sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications, because I'm gonna be putting more of these videos out as I build the trailer, and I'm taking my time and I'm doing it right. So even what I put in here may already be coming back out by the time the next video comes in. I'm not sure.